convince me to play Genshin Impact.
So you have no other games on your iPad, which means, like, there's not going to be a storage issue. And then when you get to AR-16, we can co-op together, and then I can capitalize off you being bad at the game. But we can at least have fun.
Is that it?
Yeah. The rest of the game literally speaks for itself. Like, I only played it for the memes. Like, I literally did not care at all. In fact, I was low-key annoyed how it was literally everywhere. And then I played it, and I went, oh, that is why this is literally everywhere. Like, you know, I'm not an adventure game person. I'm not an open-world game person. And it spoke to me. I don't like fighting. This game made me enjoy beating things up. I commit homicide on an hourly basis, and I've never been happier.
Yay. Okay, so I am not an open world person either, unless it's Minecraft. Minecraft is the best kind. Only because, even though recent evidence will contradict what I'm about to say, it is one of the least janky open world games. What I mean by that is, you know you're on a slope, right? Trying to climb up a slope. You sometimes just fall down the slope for unknown reasons. That's always annoying in the game that has slopes or mounds of some sort. I've seen you climb on a wall in Genshin Impact, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so obnoxious.
It's not obnoxious, it's just if you walk by it, it automatically... I think there's a way to turn that off where you have to, like, touch the buttons manually, but I'm too lazy to go into settings. But it's like, obviously if you're walking towards a wall, you wouldn't want to just run into it. The games would be like, oh, you want to climb this, right? And you can climb... Well, there's, like, some walls where you cannot climb. And it's a certain material. I always forget what it is, but it's like you'll try to climb it and the game goes, no, use that wall and then jump off. This is a puzzle. Use your brain. And it's...
I'm nothing against that kind of gameplay. But also, so this is a gacha game, right? A free-to-play game?
Yeah.
So
it depends on how you choose.
Well,
you can have fun if you do it free-to-play, but some people do a thing called whaling where they just throw all of their money. And it is like, listen, I get it, but also I do not. Like, when you stop playing this game, you're going to be very upset with your financial situation.
Or the game shuts down, unfortunately.
I put a limit to how much I invest in anything because it'll shut down. MSP! Ooh, how much money have I put into that game and I haven't touched it in years? Big sad.
So, I noticed that you were playing a game and you said something about, oh, I'm out of Mora when you were fighting a bunch of bosses. So something that I see a lot of free-to-play games and gacha games do is have a system that limits what you can do in the game. So I'm wondering, is there something like that in Genshin Impact? Like, you only do so many activities during a day?
No.
No?
Yeah, it's literally just, oh, I'm out of Mora, then you just have to go do quests to get more Mora. So like, you defeat normal enemies that just walk around, you get more. You defeat bosses, you get Mora. Literally, just doing your daily commissions, you get more. Like, you're never actually gonna run, it's just like in the moment, oh, I don't have enough to level up this thingy, but by the time, like, you go out on an adventure to get more Mora, you have, like, an overabundance. At least that's how it works for me, just because I typically, it's like, ooh, I have a plan, and then I forget about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that thing, and I'm just rich. And there is one thing called resin that a lot of people do complain about. They're like, because you need resin to, like, claim rewards from bigger bosses, but that literally replenishes. It replenishes on a time base, like you get one every 7 or 8 minutes, I forget. But a lot of people, it's like, oh, I'm out of resin. Literally sit down and be patient. Don't waste your primo gems. Don't spend actual... People who use actual money on their resin terrify me. Like, literally sit down. You have... The possibilities of what you can do while you wait are endless. Go do something. Kill some hilly churls. Calm down.
Go grind.
Yeah,
that's
go
always
grind.
Fun. Oh yeah, speaking of which, how was the grinds?
For what? Oh, they're ascension materials?
Yeah.
Forgot about it. I forgot about getting their ascension materials. All of my main 5 are at level 69. Love that for me. And I need to be at level 70, and I cannot ascend them until I am AR 40. So I'm waiting until I have enough adventure rank points to get to AR 40. So then when I do the world ascension test, not only will I not be weak, because all of my people will be level 70 with level 70 swords, here to murder your booties. Like, I can literally ascend them again and then get them up to 80. I'll have to, like, get, leveling up materials, but that's fine. It's the same thing with more. Like, oh, I need more materials to level up. oh, I have enough, now everyone's powerful again. Like, there are these little thingies, I forget what they're called, but they're like these blossoms, like these weird flower thingies. There's 2 types. There's a yellow one. I don't know what the yellow one does. I genuinely do not care either. You want to keep your eyes on that blue one. If you are trying to beef up them kids, you need those blue ones because they give you literally 13 to 15, I forget what they're called, but they're like the middle character rate up items. Like, the best one is Hero's Wit, and I only remember Hero's Wit because it is so dang powerful. It's beautiful. I love it. But there's, like, a middle one that is also fine. I think you only need, like, not 20. Yeah, I think you only need, like, 20 to get them level by level, so it's very easy. So it's like you defeat a couple of those thingies, but if you, like, touch it, and then you have an enemy, it's like, oh, kill 7 people, or kill 1 giant person, or 2 medium-sized people. Like, it's very easy and simple. So if people ever have, like, people told me, like, oh, there's going to be a shortage of materials. Oh, dang, you can just cut it out. Yeah, like, oh, Bean Bob, you're going to run out of materials. No, I'm not. Shut up. Like, the only thing I actually had trouble finding is, like, enhancement ore, and you use that for weapons, and I made the big, tiny brain decision of, like, leveling up almost all of my weapons. Literally saying that out loud. That was a dumb decision. If no one's using it, why are you leveling it up, you scumbag? Anyway, that is only sad. Only one of my weapons is actually at 70. The rest of them are all at 60. No. 3 of them are at 60. 1 is at 70. And then one of my people's swords is at 62. But enhancement ore is really annoying because you need to, like, find crystals and ores. And for the longest time, everything else, if you play Genshin Impact, if you see anything that sparkles, pick it up. There's no reason not to. There's no limit to what you can have in your inventory. You're going to need it later. People are going to ask for it. You're going to need it to cook. You're going to need it for some stupid mission. Just pick up everything you see. And especially ores. Because I had, like, hundreds of normal iron, white iron, crystals, and all of it is gone making stupid enhancement ore. Oh, I need my weapons to be strong.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So, I mainly have 2 more arguments as to reasons as to I may not, that these are like make or breaks if I ever touch that game.
Okay, also, very random, but it's like, I love how this is supposed to, is this a different series than Off the Cuff?
No, it's just, this is gonna be Off the Cuff, but not on Crack Edition. Like,
well,
it's
Off the Cuff, to me, seems like it should be on Crack. This is strangely normal.
This is more in response to what our older brother said, like, saying, I don't like the content, saying, you know what, I agree, like, I want different types of content on the channel. Oh, then it should be
a different series, because this does not feel like Off the Cuff, like, at all.
But when I think of Off the Cuff, I'm thinking of low effort, but still, like, the production values is not supposed to be high, like, not, like, heavy in editing. I'm just thinking of changing it. And, there's just stuff to keep the audience away, because I like it when you get an in-depth look at a YouTuber's spots. I thought it'd be kind of cool if I had something on my channel that did that. Okay.
I still think it should be a different series, though.
Yeah,
like, it's on, I'm not saying, like, make a whole new YouTube channel, what? But it's, like, it's not like the channel is called Off the Cuff. No. It's just that one thing that's off the cuff. But if this is, like, a typical every so often, oh, we're just gonna sit down and talk about something.
Yeah, doesn't really match everything else came before it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. That does make sense.
Yes.
So, okay, then.
Oh, I thought you didn't want people to know that, like, we're racist people. Because you said...
Yeah, I just edited that out.
You should call him Overlord. Respond to what Overlord said.
Yeah, Overlord. My Overlord did not like the first 2 Off the Cuffs. The first Off the Cuff. So I wanted to make something a little more presentable. And I said, you know what? When I have, like, 2 seconds to think what I want to say, I sound somewhat intelligent, and most people have said that. Hey,
hold up a second. I'm going to get intelligent, too. Don't change up your content just because stupid Overlords I don't like it. If I changed my content to make Overlord happy, I would be nowhere on the internet. Honestly.
That is probably true.
It still, like, amazes me that I have been able to make, like, not a career. Some people are like, dang it. Bill Bob. What did I call myself? Billy Bob? My name is Billy Bob.
Yes. Right.
My name is Billy Bob. They are like, Billy Bob, focus on your YouTube career, which, first of all, YouTube is not forever. I'm going to get an actual job at some point.
A real man's
job. A real man's job.
A real person's job.
It's just really insane that, like, I literally just do whatever I want, and I've been able to, like, get a paycheck out of it monthly. It's a tiny one, but it's better than nothing, you know? It's pretty rad. But yeah, like, just do what you want. You will gain that audience. Screw Overlord. He can suck my big toe.
But here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't, like, this off the cuff was literally just, you know, be cool. Let's just talk about stuff and see where it goes.
Yeah, but didn't that make you happy?
It did. It was very
and that's
enjoyable.
That's all that matters. Screw Overlord. Don't change up your content to suit him. If you enjoy doing this, I'll keep doing it with you. But, like, don't be like, I have to rearrange and change the trajectory of my entire channel just to make this one person happy. And I get it. You value his opinion. I value Overlord's opinion, too. That is why I continuously show him my crap content, knowing full and well he's going to hate it. But it doesn't matter. I just want him to look at it. And, you know, he makes stuff that I don't always like. For the most part, I like his stuff. But sometimes he makes stuff that I don't like. And he's not changing his content to make me happy. Why would he? So same thing to you. Do what you want. Make the content you want. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to sit down, edit it, convince people to come sit down, talk with you. You're the one doing the brunt of the work for this. So that means if you're going to do it, it should be making you happy. If your job is something you love, you never work a day in your life. And that is not entirely true, but a really epic person in my life told that to me, and I have remembered it ever since.
You know, something similar happened to me. Well, actually, a different sort of analogy came to mind. So I was taking culinary arts in high school, and my teacher, she was basically like, we're going to do some work. I was saying, well, I said jokingly, is that really work? Because, like, you know, you make food, and then you eat the food. It doesn't really feel like work. Making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich does not really feel like work. It's just, I want a snack, I have to make a snack. Not a big deal. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, if you enjoy something, and you get, like, I guess this case, immediate gratification out of just finishing something, it doesn't really feel as bad as just, I have to wait 500 years doing this menial task, then maybe I'll get something at the end.
Yeah, I was literally thinking about that today, too. On the toilet, because all the deep thoughts happen while you're on the toilet and you left your iPad downstairs. But I was just sitting thinking about how it's crazy that I'm actually able to, like, make money from my horrible, literally rat garbage content. Like, what in the world? Like, people like this, and it's like, Billy Bob, you like this stuff. You think it's epic and cool. And you do put a lot of work into it. Like, it looks like, because it'll end up being, like, a minute, 3 minutes. But I actually, like, if you actually were to, like, watch me break down, like, having to script out everything, then getting the images, like, just every little thing, my things can, like, take between, like, 5 minutes to make and literally, like, 2 whole days. And I'm not being, like, I worked on it for 2 days, like, collectively 48 hours. Like, it's insane. And it's like, no, you do deserve it. And technically, I am getting underpaid, but it's fun for me. So it's like, I genuinely, like, do not care, you know?
Yeah.
When I say underpaid, I'm gonna be like, oh, I can do that. I mean, like, minimum wage, it's underpaid. Legally, it's underpaid. But, like, I don't care because it's, like, before I made nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain.
All right. So
yeah.
You just sparked a very interesting topic. You may do for another one if you're in the mood for another one. But
sure.
So
we're not leaving until you download Genshin Impact. After this, you have to download Genshin Impact. That is our new deal.
If you could answer these 2 questions.
I will. But also, that is my payment for this. You're going to get Genshin Impact. You don't have to play it every day. I want you to at least try it. But
yeah, it's free. So what's really disadvantage in here?
Yes.
So, first question. So, I'm the kind of guy who likes creature collectors because, well, I don't like the idea of that I can't have something that... I know. Are you okay? Did I say something very not okay? I just didn't realize it.
I just realized, like, people are like, Pokemon is like slavery.
I mean, it is.
I know, and then I went, oh my gosh, human, like, creature collecting, Genshin Impact is human trafficking. But yeah, continue.
So,
Billy Bob's gonna get canceled.
Don't worry. If I like the idea of having everything, but not only are the boxes, they're not time sensitive. Like they're just not always around. Like eventually, characters on one box will appear on another box.
I actually do not know if that is true. Venti came out who knows how long ago. He is not in the permanent box. I don't think he's coming back. I heard people say you can't get him anymore. And it's like, well, I guess I'll just have to die.
I hope that's not true.
Like, all the other 5 stars in there, I'm just like, I don't care about any of you. I want, who was it? I want D-Luke. He's the only one in there that I want, but I also don't want to risk getting anyone else. Like, everyone's like, Mona can sprint across water. And I'm like, I have Kaya. I don't care. And listen, if you, like, don't get to where you need to go by the end of her sprint, you're out of stamina. You are going to drown.
Dang. So, I hope that part's not true. I hope that those people come back. That would be ideal.
I hope so, too.
So, how often are you able to summon? Like just messing around, not spending any money, just casually playing the game. How often are you able to summon?
Well, in, like, the first day I did it, I was able to do 2 summons of the normal. There's a beginner banner, and it's, like, at a discount. It takes, like, what is it? I think it was half off. So it's, like, 2 scouts for the price of 1. And you're guaranteed the 4-star Noelle, who is a maid knight. I kid you not. It is so strange. She has, like, knight armor under her maid outfit. It's so weird. But she's fine. A lot of people like her. I personally just do not use her because I'm not a huge fan of Mega Sword. It also turns out I am not the only person who calls it a Mega Sword / Great Sword. It is, what is it? It is, like, actually called Claymore. And I'm like, Mega Sword.
A really big sword.
Yeah, but yeah, from that one, it's pretty fine. But how often? I'm not totally sure. Like, you just accumulate. Like, early on, it's very easy to get Primo Gems and Fates. So it's really just, it's, like, fine. Also, the game gives you, like, free characters, and the free characters you get are pretty fine, like, anyways. So you wouldn't even really need to scout. A lot of people end up just saving their Primo Gems for if there's a character they really want. So I'm currently doing that. Like, I have enough to do a 10 pull, and I'm doing my best to not, because I save Aaron. There's going to be a character you actually... Dang it! Save Billy Bob. There's actually going to be a character you really want. And then if you don't have Primo Gems, it's going to be big sad. I'm doing my best to not spend any more money on the game. I've only spent $5 so far, so that had kind of, like, obscured my, how often can you do it? Because I was like, oh, I can do, like, a 10 pull every day if I got my 90, because I got, like, 90 Primo Gems every day for 30 days. I think I'm on my last day tomorrow. And then, if you do daily commissions every day, if you do all 4 of them, you get 60 Primo Gems, and you need 1,600 Primo Gems to do a 10 pull. And then also there's a bunch of weird tasks and missions you can do and quests that'll give you Primo Gems. So really, I don't know. It's just whenever I felt like, I'm going to do a solo pull, I typically was able to do 1, if not a couple.
Mm-hmm. How many times did you summon and just got a bunch of weapons?
I've only gotten weapons, like, 4 times, I think.
During a single or during a multi?
Multi. When I say weapon, I mean a 4-star weapon, because characters are only 4 stars and 5 stars, and for every 10 pull, you are guaranteed 1 4-star. So when I say I get a weapon, I mean the guaranteed 4-star was a weapon. You're always going to get, like, weapons, like 3-star weapons, because that's the main brunt of it.
Dang.
But yeah.
You gotta love your games where, you hear for the carriers, but actually you just get a bunch of swords.
No, it's very, honestly, that sounds like worse than it actually is. Like,
yeah, maybe I did a little disservice. It's just that I never liked the idea in a gacha game where I'm getting an inanimate object when there's a bunch of people.
No, but, like, weapons are really good, though.
They are good. It's just, I want to work for weapons and not gamble for my weapons.
Yeah, there actually is, like, a weapon box, because some people are like, I don't need any more people, I just want a 5-star weapon. So there's a weapon box where you can pull up to it. Also, the game has a pity system, so after your 90th pull, you're guaranteed a 5-star. But every time you get a 5-star, the pity resets and you're back to 0.
That's neat.
So a lot of people, like, will do the boxes and try to, like, just gear up their pity, but then they get a 5-star. So for me, it's like, I'm not even going to scout in the Intertwine if I'm not trying to get the 5-star. Luckily, I didn't get Zhongli in his banner, so I was able to pity Albedo. But, like, what is it, the permanent box? Every so often I just go in there. So it's like, eventually one day I might get D-Luke. I really doubt it, though, because there's, like, 10 5-stars in there. So there's already a very tiny chance of getting a 5-star. and my I'm probably not getting D-Luke. I'm not.
No Batman for you.
And even if I did get D-Luke, I am not leveling up that absolute unit. That takes too many resources.
Alright, second final question. Mm-hmm. So this may be a little complicated to answer because you don't play fighting games. Mm-hmm. So, something I think a criticism I have of a lot of gacha games is that units, this may seem a bit weird because, you're saying about Genshin tiers, how they don't matter, how, you can make Amber really beastly if you give her enough resources. Mm-hmm. But, in general terms, I would say units in most gacha games are not built to last. What that specifically means is, we need they're very simple. Would that be something I could say about Genshin Impact units? They're very simple, like there's not too much, because there's the universal system of the elements and reactions, but every character just puts one reaction, and having a full team gives you a bajillion reactions because you have a bunch of combinations. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's just one part of the question. So, they are simple. No, yes.
What do you, I don't totally understand what you mean by they are simple.
Simple.
Because if you mean, elemental-wise, from a base level, yes, they are simple. Mm-hmm. You have your Geo people, which, honestly, from a first glance, seem very useless until you actually realize how big brain tough they are. But, also, you said, reactions. Reactions are, first of all, just a whole can of worms. Yeah. They had to make an entire domain to teach people how to do it properly and best use them. But also they are not simple because every person, every individual person has talents. Mm-hmm. And each talent does something unique. And you can level up those talents. And then it is a lot. So from base level, it is pretty simple. But once you go into these are the things they're really good at, so I should raise up these stats. And then you put artifacts into the mix. And then you read what their weapons do. And everything to make ultimate beef children, everything has to be intertwined. And it is a lot of reading and a lot of thinking and a lot of strategy. Because sometimes you might be on one apple, which is a health raising item, and you have to fight 3 bosses at once, so you have to strategize the best way to kill these people while getting the least amount of damage ever. And it's so big annoying, but it's even I, who's pretty tiny-brained, under stress, I can come up with something. I've never played a game before that made me actually have to think of a strategy to defeat someone, it is a good brain exercise, honestly. I feel like schools should start advocating, play Genshin Impact. You use your brain.
Chemistry.
Honestly, it is chemistry.
Yeah. So here's an example of I'm gonna give you a fighting game character example, and to the best of your abilities, try to see if a Genshin Impact character sort of does this in some ways. So so we have a fighting dude, and he has 3 moves. He has a projectile, which is good at long range because it's a projectile. Mm-hmm. It's a fire move. He has a move that basically he spins towards an opponent. Okay? Mm-hmm. And he has an uppercut. It's a defensive maneuver. Mm-hmm. So in one character, does any character in Genshin have that much utility?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now is it in moves or is that in talents?
Their moves are their talents. When you say, there are characters who are better for offensive things, and then there's characters who are, more... Well, all of them are, offense, but, some of them are, more defense. Some characters, their talent... People, call them E and Qs. They have their obvious normal attack, which is a normal attack, hence why I remember it. And then they have, an elemental attack, which will unleash their element something. And then they have, an elemental burst, which you need to accumulate energy by killing people so you can use it. And that is, just big, extra strong. And if it's a 5-star character, they get a cool animation to go with it. But, some characters' elemental skill will be literally, just a boosted up, slapping you across the face. Some characters, if you hold their elemental attack, it will just make the elemental, burst stronger, and then it kills, and then, it attacks people stronger. Some people's elemental skill is literally a shield, and that just makes it You don't take as much damage from other people. Some people's elemental skill is healing people. Like, sure, it does damage, but also it, like, heals people. Like, there's a character named Bennett, and well, this is technically his, like, elemental burst, but, like, it puts this thing on the floor. It's a little circle on the floor, and while you are in that circle, not only does it, like, give you, like, a boost, for Bennett himself, it makes the cooldown of his elemental skill a lot faster, so you can fire slice people a lot quicker. But if you put anyone, like, you switch out to anyone else, as long as you're in the circle, your health will go back up, like, it heals you a little bit, and it also gives your normal attack a boost. I haven't read the stats on it, so I don't know how much, but it's like, Bennett literally is an absolute unit. He's the definition of absolute unit. Oh my gosh, like, I'm really not, like, big technical words, but, like, Bennett is really, like, the ultimate support, but can also hold his own. Like, you could probably go around and, like, just tear up entire cities with just Bennett and thrive. And then there's, like, characters who are better for things that, like, long range, which are obviously archers. But, I don't think I'm even answering your question now. I'm just gushing over Bennett.
No, it's, I just basically said, well, yeah, you answered a question, and I guess what I'm asking for, because like you just told me, because I was on the impression that talents were separate from their attacks.
Their talents are their attacks.
Okay.
But I like your original question, like, units are not made to last. Like...
No, I don't, well, yeah, keep
like,
going.
it's the norm for, like, units not to be made to last. And for me, it's like, no, every unit. Like, literally, when people say that all units are good, it's just about how you build them and how you use them. It's like, even characters who are quote-unquote made to be supports. I have friends who use Albedo, who is, like, very obviously a support person. They found a way to make him a main DPS. And, of course, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, sure, like, whatever you want. And then I see their Albedo in action, and it's like, yo, what the nuts? Like, it's insane what you really can just do with the power artifacts and leveling up their talents. And it's like, you really do gotta, like, pick and choose who like, you raise and make stronger. Like, you actually have to read if you play. Like, at the beginning, you can kind of just be like, whatever. But when you want to, like, actually start, like, obliterating people easily, at least the way I want to, you're gonna have to do a little more big-brained thinking. Because you can't just go, I'm gonna level up everyone's talents! Because, ooh boy. There are some resources that you literally do not get except for events. And it is just an absolute nightmare. If you're like, I'm gonna raise up this person, and then you, like, raise up someone's talent, and it's, like, not the best one you should have done. And it's like, well, because you can't undo it. What is done is done.
And it will never be changed. Okay. So that's very interesting.
Yes.
Thank you for your thoughts.